Hi everyone. My name is Michael Smith. I'm a product manager based out of Google London. I've been on a product, obviously I don't know how to use technology. I've been a product manager there for about 18 months. Before that I was on it's known as the Ad Exchange, which is a big, large publisher product. But I just switched over to this product, which is the Google Publisher plugin. This was run before by someone called Marcel Gordon, who I believe has attended a few of these in the past, but I'm brand new to this. I've used WordPress myself a couple times, but I know the publisher ad space fairly well. So let me just introduce what it is that we've built. Hopefully you can find this useful, and if you try this out, please let us know what you think of it. We'd love to get your feedback, and I think we're going to try to get someone in for a talk very shortly here. So what is it? It's a plugin, works pretty simply, like every other WordPress plugin that's out there. It is the plugin that we support. That does not mean that the other plugins are going to stop working by any stretch of the imagination. Do not drop your plugin right now. But what we're trying to do is we want to make it easier to add AdSense ads to your site and just make money. We also want to integrate other products. First and foremost, we started with Webmaster Tools to make that easier. So let me stop just blabbing about it and actually show you what it is. This is my gigantic WordPress site with about 3 posts on it, but it facilitates the product. So if you hit Analyze Site, or sorry, Manage Ads, it analyzes your site and finds the places where we could put ads. It's actually pretty intelligent. This is probably one of the slickest parts of this feature. We actually go through the sweet. Exactly. Hey, by the way, the official version number is 0.1.0. We know very well what this is at, and I think we've got plenty of capacity. So I think it's just when it's a slightly slower site coming from a slightly slower, this site is not exactly the fastest in the world. But you see what's going on here. You can add new ad units in here, and then your ads will serve in there. You can insert it either in the post or elsewhere in the like at the bottom of the page, for example. And then that's all you have to do. You hit Save and Activate, and then the ads are serving on your site once you've hooked them up. So this is just the very beginning of what it is we're trying to do. What we're really trying to do is get closer to publishers so we understand how it is they work with content and how they think about content. So let me go back over here quickly. So like I said before, the main really cool bit of the technology is that we analyze the site to find good placements and find where we could fit good ones in and what they look like. The interesting part about the implementation is that we've got a very lightweight PHP plugin that talks to the front end server. So actually, most of what you just saw is on our own servers, but we do store your configuration locally. So it's that kind of combo that's neat. It won't work for everybody because it only works kind of if you have a web service backend. If that's what you have and that's the kind of thing you're trying to integrate with WordPress, then that's a great architecture. So another thing to note too, that was built in London. For those of you who do run AdSense, the AdSense front end team is in London. That is entirely built here. Actually, I showed this to the team and they said, why do you not have pictures of our office? This is the office that's in Victoria that isn't our office, and that's the office in Tottenham Court Road that is not our office. But we have an engineering office that's right near Victoria, and that's where actually this is being built too. So, and like I said, we'd love to continue to come support this group and have some engineers in here to give you a more technical talk on what they did, as well as I'm sure learn from you folks. So I'm sure they, our guys started with a book and then got some technical support here and there and made it work. Because they're pretty smart, but it's not everything. So this is version 0.1.0, and so it's very much a beta. We're really looking to try to understand how publishers use or use ads products, and we're trying to. So the main goal here is we're trying to improve them and help publishers, and we're going to continue to roll out newer and better features here. And so please try it out, plug it in, and let us know how you grab me in the hallway or send emails. We're trying very hard to do the right thing. I have to say one of the best things about launching this was discovering how good the WordPress community is. The support forums were great on our plugins, and the feedback we got instantaneously. So we're trying to do that. We're trying to turn that around in kind and be just as nice to the community, and make sure that we engage with them on the forums and in person when possible. So, does anybody have any questions?
A sort of couple of feature questions. Does it have a A/B type facility?
Feature questions. Does it have an A/B type facility? The answer is no, but we are working on something even better than that, and that's kind of like what's the magic pixie dust we'll put in eventually.
And so, the other feature I'll be looking for would be third-party source adverts, because I'm very small niche, and a lot of the people want to advertise.
Kind of more network stuff.
Yeah.
The trickiest thing with that is ultimately owning the tag and managing that. So what we might do for that is, I think, I'm talking aloud here, but I think probably the way we would be most likely to manage that is say, what you're really asking for, there's an ad server, right? So we'd say, DFP small business is free. Maybe what we should do is make it easy to do DFP small business with a couple clicks from within there. One of the things I didn't mention is that, it's not on there. Sorry, is that not only do we have Webmaster Tools integration, but one of the things we're planning also to do is just continue to add things here. We've got AdSense and Webmaster Tools. We've got a ton of other things for publishers. We're going to continue to add them and then integrate them nicely. So to that extent, I think if we're starting to do ad networks, that's something that DFP Small Business, our with publishers product, that's free and integrates well with AdSense. We'd probably do that through that.
Me first?
Yeah.
Can you give some idea about when that fancy analysis takes place, what it's analysing? Because I've got a couple of sites that are probably about 4 years old now, and I have to confess that I've probably only just learned what taxonomy is. So if I've gone a bit crazy with my tags and categories, and it's analysing that, then it may be that I could get ads on my sites that I really don't like or want there.
Right. So actually, the only thing we're analyzing right now, from like in this placement tool there, is for spaces on the site that would fit an ad. So it's actually almost more of a rendering and kind of DOM tree walking than looking at the metadata there. So
It's exactly the same question.
okay, good. Yeah.
I had a similar question as well, so thanks for that. The other one though is, I've got a bit of experience with AdSense already. Do you have to create ad units in your AdSense account beforehand?
So that's now you've hit the nerve that's very near and dear to my heart, because I just came from a very the high-end publisher platform tool. We just reimagined the front end, so you don't need ad units anymore.
Right.
That allows you to do targeting and configuration in a much more general way. My belief is that ad units are kind of an artifact of the way we serve ads, not the way that you think about your ads. So right now the short answer is no. When you click this and you create this creates an ad unit for you under the covers.
Right.
That will probably be the short term, probably even the medium term kind of thought. Long term, I personally, as a product manager, I don't dictate a roadmap. I influence it, but I have a very strong feeling that that as a content publisher, you really don't care about an ad unit. You care about the revenue at the end, and you care about your content. And the fact that we make you think about an ad unit is actually getting in your way. So that's where I'd like to eventually go, is
Right.
you don't have to worry about it.
That's not always the case. I care very much about the ads that get placed on my site. I've got a site that's targeted at people with disabilities, and I hate it when I get loan sharks advertising on
Oh,
my
yeah.
site. You
So-
know, I
so-
hate it.
So not caring about ad units is very different than not caring about control. I totally want you to worry about control. I just don't want you to have to speak my language of ad surfing to be able to do it. I want you to be able to tell me that you don't want loan shark ads and you don't want ads in certain places. But I want you to do it in that language, in the way that we would talk about it, not the way that we have to make you artificially configure it. And then ideally, by doing that, we can get you closer to the content, or we can start discovering that. So that's almost the dialogue that we're going to start having as part of this plugin.
Hi, sorry, this is coming from not geek about it. So first of all, I haven't ever used it before, so even right back at the beginning, I gather it's an ad tool. In Google AdWords, I kind of understand it.
Okay.
But the question is, so usually I use keywords, planning tool when I'm doing an ad for Google. So you said it was quite random. How do you get to choose the relevance? And what
Oh,
is it
no,
you're
sorry,
going to?
it's not actually, sorry, if I said it's random, it's actually not random. It's actually, what they do is they figure, like, when we analyze your site, we figure out where we could put could place them. And then you, right now on the plugin, you get to tell us where you want it to be,
Okay.
right? And you actually you will expand as to to the ad placement on your site, and you can validate it right then and there. In fact, there's a preview mode too, where you can actually see like a fake live, or like a live ad. Actually, you don't get money for it if you're previewing it, but we do make it so that you can see the ads as if they were placed. So those green boxes are where we would put an ad once you've clicked on the red button and told us that's okay to do it. The other thing, sorry?
You get to choose the ad.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think we will always have a product that even if we get rid of ad units, you still would talk about it in terms of placements, and you could still always say, I only want them here, right? And right now you can do that. So right now you can do that on your WordPress site, no problem. There's a million plugins that'll do this. You can also copy and paste code and shove it right into your WordPress. It's not that hard. This just makes it a little bit easier, right? When it's not working on a slow log like mine. Yeah, so.
I had a follow-up on what I was talking about before, about ad units. I mean, one of the issues I've found with using ad units, and hopefully that this is going to go away, is that obviously if you've got a responsive site, it's a bit troublesome because you might end up with an ad that's too wide for the place. Does your plugin take that into account when it's
So
analysing my
the
site?
only thing we dropped, so AdSense now has responsive ad units
Right.
that will resize accordingly and flow better. So this plugin only has, I think actually one of the initial write-ups, I think it was even on TechCrunch, they said, oh, they only support 4 ad sizes now. No, we only support the responsive ad sizes that AdSense already supports, which actually is every ad size that AdSense currently supports. So they only drop responsive tags, and that would actually be a great thing already for you to look into if you already are using AdSense. Switch over to responsive tags; that would be a little bit better already.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Just the revenue aspect, very exciting. What would a blog, once a day, once a week, is it paid? How much are you going to earn?
Oh, it all comes down to a multitude of things. She just said that she used keyword targeting, and it depends very much on how important your keywords are to the targeter and how precise they can be, so that you can get a high degree of difference in your ad spend that someone would spend to buy the advertising on your site, and then multiply that by the number of impressions. So we have pubs who earn less than $1 a month, right? And we have ones that are just pure AdSense that are 3 million, a month. So they go, and it's surprising too. So some of our largest publishers only use AdSense. They don't scale up to some of our even bigger products because it just works. So there you go, from less than $1 a month to $3 million a month. It doesn't really tell you much, but it really depends on. The great news is that actually an AdSense account doesn't cost much to get started. I would say that the number one thing for a particularly small publisher to think about is whether that's actually your goal, right? I'm stepping out of my AdSense thing and just trying to be a good citizen. The right thing to do is the right thing for your audience, first and foremost. And of course, you keep staying in business is a part of that, right? And being able to eat so you can write more is a consideration there, but it might not be the only consideration, so I wouldn't do it just to do it.
What happens if you already have ad units?
So if you already have ad units, that's part of the reason it's 0.1, right? If you already have it, you have to remove them to be able to do this analyzation. So one of the things on our relatively short-term roadmap is a migration path for existing people to make that not as painful as it is. We might automatically upgrade you to responsive ad units and then start assuming that you've already got the green boxes in there, something like that.
So to clarify, if I've already got some ad units set up and I'm delivering them to a site I run by using some little text widget thing, right, that just puts the little code in there. So all I've got to do is just remove that text widget and then use this plugin.
Yep.
And then that's
And then
fine.
you can click to
It doesn't matter that I've already got some ad units set up or anything like that.
No, well, in fact, we require you to remove the existing ones right now to be able to use this at all.
All right, so I've got to ditch all my existing ad units on Google.
Yeah, which is not ideal,
Right.
which is why it's
Right, I see what you're saying.
so that's one of the very beginning things we're trying to do.
That's a tricky one, isn't it? Because if you have more than one site, so your ad units are used across multiple sites.
Well, sorry, let me say it a different way. You have to remove the JavaScript code from your page
Not
that
the
you
actual
want to annotate it.
go to Google and remove all your
Correct.
ad
You can keep
Right.
them as they are, and you can keep on all the other sites. Just any site you want this to be able to succeed on,
Yeah,
you have to remove it from.
right. And presumably there's some screening here that you haven't shown us that how I hook up with my AdSense.
Yeah. So
account.
on there, if you you can
Oh, I see. Right.
just go straight to AdSense, and this goes straight to my AdSense, and I don't think I've earned even a penny at all. And your performance reports and helps. And we probably will make that deeper linked over time. So any other questions?
You talked about adding other services. What services are you going to add?
What other services are we going to add? So the number one probably on my personal hit list, again, Google can't. This is part of the things that's probably most frustrating with working with Google is they never say, they being me, never say dates, right? The reason why is because product managers who have to do this stuff do it by consensus. So I'm going to go try to talk to people to try to convince them, which is probably the right way to do this. Like I have to have good arguments to get it done, so I can't promise anything. My first really strong one, and there's a strong reason or strong thing for feeling for this throughout all of ads is analytics. We have to get analytics and ads better tied together, as well as getting analytics closer to your content for your purposes. Right, so that's probably that's my preferred third box there.
But are you going to integrate Google News? Because that's
How would
it generate sitemaps? So you
I'd love to
I
talk
was
to
looking for
you.
solutions today and I couldn't find
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about that because I'm not familiar with that product. There's a ton of stuff here, so it'd be nice to see whether you're jumping in. Cool. Any other questions? Oh.
How does it actually place the code into the page?
How does it place the code into the page? Well, this would be a great question for the engineers when we get there, but I can give you a very quick kind of overview. That is what the PHP code does. What we do is we do an analysis, and then we decorate. We actually put little function code bits in where those red. We put some JavaScript in where the markers are. And when you turn it on, we populate the top of your page with, they said number 12 is on, right? And ignore the rest. and so we can turn them on and off kind of through the JavaScript at the top. So that's all stored on your page and on your site as far as which ones are on.
So is it like hooking into using WordPress like hooks?
Yeah.
Right.
The PHP is what allows us to kind of do it in a non-obtrusive but thorough way. Sorry, Mike.
One more.
Sorry.
Is it possible, are all the ads, do they have to be site-wide, or is it possible to have them on individual pages?
Oh yeah, so one thing that that probably I glossed over a little bit too quickly is this is actually per template, so you place them per template.
Template?
Yeah, exactly. So right now we don't have controls. We assume that that's probably the correct level of granularity, but we can make it so that that's part of the controls thing. I'd love to eventually make it so that it's tied into the content, and you can tell me in your language when you don't want ads to show, when you do want ads to show. Right now it's based off of the template.
We could maybe link it to specific widgets or widget areas maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, something, or the categories or tags or something like that. So.
Thank you very much, Michael.